don't forget our very special promo code, Mojo50, for incredible savings.
We're here. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Share the show. Share it.
What's going on, everybody? Brother Dave Scott in the house. All right. Damn.
Damn what?
That's great.
All the stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that logo.
I happen to like our site, dude. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, but we need that. I mean, we need when people first go to it, boom, total sexiness. First thing they see. So much that they have to stop and just kind of take it all in.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm with you. I understand. Boom, sexiness, he says.
Right. Ron supports that idea. By the way, no TK this Saturday. We're on our own.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. So aggressive. All right. All right, what's up, Linda? Kathy, what's going on, Mr. Becker? All right.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Literally. All right. Petey, I missed you. Dave will be okay with my little final in with Petey. I had to be professional last 2 weeks, and it's not been easy. You should be really proud of me.
I am proud of you. You did good.
Thank you. There was a couple times where some things were said, and I was just like, just don't do this. Don't.
All right, 30 seconds, folks. We'll be right back.
Bavoom.
Stick around.
Plus, get a lifetime equipment replacement warranty. You need protection for your home. Call the Home Security Hotline right now.
800-561-2351. 800-561-2351. 800-561-2351. Again, that's 800-561-2351.
Journey into the matrix of the mind. Stretch your imagination and challenge reality. Abnormal realities are beacons for the imagination. What society deems abnormal may be more real than we think. This is Abnormal Realities with your hosts, Ron Phillips and Rocky Stucci.
Oh, Jesus, that was a double point with a little aggressive behavior there, and it totally screwed up.
Almost poked him in the eye.
I was rehearsing in my brain how I was going to start this show, but then Ron gave me the double what, Ron?
The dip.
Kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah, I
was
did.
like, oh, Jesus.
It's
nice
like he's sitting next to
watch.
me. He knows what his cue is, but I still got to point at him.
Is that new? Is that a new watch?
I've had it for 2 or 3 weeks now.
Well, congratulations,
Oh,
Mr.
my
New
God.
Watch Man.
It's not a new watch.
Yeah, Lisa says that to me all the time. She's like, you're seriously just noticing? No, I got my hair cut a month ago. I'm like, I knew, but I was just playing hard to get. You know what I'm saying? Hey, folks, we talk about the different stages of radio. We talk about the journeys that we've been through. And I would I would like to say, Mr. Phillips, and did you push a button?
What button?
The button.
Yeah, I got the
I
button.
just want to make sure.
Yeah, I pushed it in time tonight.
There's, I believe, I don't know, political radio, I don't think you ever evolve. If you evolve in political radio, you pretty much get out of political radio. That's evolving in political radio. Kind of truth?
It's because it whoops your butt every day.
Face, it does something to your soul.
Yeah.
But in paranormal radio, it's been quite the journey. I started many years ago. Ron's been in radio for a long time. And the true evolving nature of what we do.
Yeah, you're good.
Is these subjects we talk about. That our last guest talked about the suicide part and then the NDE and then how the life changed. Powerful stuff, mind stimulating, and could help a lot of people in a lot of dark places. But through this journey, we meet awesome, badass, hardcore people. And there's a small handful of people that I've stayed connected to over the years in the paranormal radio realm. It's a small circle. It is what it is, right? His name is Dave Scott. A lot of you know who he is. You've heard of him. You listen to him. You know he's on Odyssey Radio. But he is the host of Spaced Out Radio. 3
hours.
3 hours. I mean, sometimes
3
an
hours
hour
a
we're
night.
like, oh my God, bro.
Midnight to 3 a.m. every night.
Every night.
Well, every weeknight. Let's go that way. Yeah.
That's right. So we will get, it's spacedoutradio.com, but I just want to say, to bring Dave in, I've always had a huge respect for Dave. The content that he has, it's an entertainment value, but it's mind provoking, it's mind stimulating, talks about all different things within the paranormal, Bigfoot, UFO, does anything different, right? And so I'm honored and humbled to introduce our guest tonight, good friend of mine, brother Dave Scott, the host of Spaced Out Radio. What is going on?
Hey,
big
Dave,
brother?
welcome.
You guys are having way too much fun.
Oh,
Way too much fun.
We haven't even started yet, dude.
hey, brother.
Hey, guys,
are you getting an echo over there?
It's coming from his side.
Oh, what? You put the headphones on and we got an echo. Oh,
I can take them off. Hold on.
wait, the echo was gone.
Yeah, the echo is gone now.
That was weird. Oh,
It may be that the volume on the phone is too loud.
There we go.
Dave.
Is
Yeah.
that better?
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to see your hair come out like
Right.
that after you took the headphones off. I'm going to put that in slow motion.
Just whipping
Oh!
See, I want
around
hair like that.
Excited there, boys.
I want hair like that.
Dude, look at that.
See,
Chills.
when you look at his picture on his website, you don't see that kind of hair.
No, but I see good hair.
It's good looking hair.
It is good looking hair.
I see good facial hair on the other side, so I'm all good.
Oh, so brother, you know, we talk about this on these shows, about the evolving process that we experience, talking about the paranormal, the Bigfoot, the spiritual, the
Yeah.
consciousness, the universe. I mean, all these different connections, because typically we talk about a various amount of things, but at the end of the day, they all kind of come together and represent a singular realm, which is the entire freaking universe, right? Start from the beginning, brother. What was it that wanted you to turn these microphones on? Was it an experience? Did you want to share with the world? Did you want to help educate? What was the defining factor to say, Dave Scott, damn it, I'm turning that microphone on and I'm changing the world?
Well, it started off, guys. For people who don't know, I actually spent 10 years in terrestrial radio working in sports in Vancouver. And then I signed off the air in July of 2007. And when I left terrestrial radio, I had such a bitter taste in my mouth just by everything that kind of went on regarding, the job. The job was great.
Yeah.
The idiot I worked for was just an arrogant son of a gun megalomaniac who just really took the wind out of my sails. And I never really got into anything. I mean, sure, we used to listen. I worked an hour and a bit away from my radio station, and I used to listen to Art Bell at night, and then George Norrie and George Knapp. I mean, how do you not listen to them at night? And, I never thought I would get back into radio. I had no intention. When I left on July 4th, 2007 at 10:47 p.m., when I signed off my last sportscast, I was done.
Yeah.
And in 2011, 4 years later, I had an experience that really transcended everything that I was going through. I didn't, I always said as a kid, I wanted to see three things before I die. I wanted to see a UFO, I wanted to see a ghost,
Yep.
and
Bigfoot.
I wanted to see Sasquatch.
Boom!
And
That's it right there. That's up
What the
high.
hell's wrong with you?
Oh, dude.
All right.
Don't leave me
Damn it.
hanging.
That's the trifecta, right
That's
there.
it. That's me
You're
right
right.
there. I'm fine.
And,
Damn, bro.
I don't need to
and
do
at
that
this
again.
time, I lived in a haunted house. I had worked in a haunted building, and I had seen one UFO at that time. And it was just Sasquatch that was holding things up. And I knew, living at the time in Mission, British Columbia, that if I put enough time out in the forest, that something would happen. But what changed me was on December 13th, 2011,
My
at about
birthday.
7:45 p.m., I ended up seeing the angel of death in my mother's eyes.
Oh,
And my parents were over at my house. We were having an early Christmas dinner for my daughter, who is going away with her maternal grandparents over the Christmas and New Year's. And we wouldn't be able to see her because of the holiday. So I figured, you know what? I'll be a good dad, and I'll get the family together, and we'll do a nice turkey dinner and make sure that she has all her presents there, family there. And it was 7:45 when my parents announced that they were leaving. Like, I don't have a tight family, man. And imagine me getting pissed off knowing that, or anybody would be pissed off knowing that, your granddaughter's going away for like 15 days over the holidays, and you're bucking out early because you can't be late to get home for Dancing with the Stars on television. And that's true. I was some pissed off, man. Very angry. And so I went into my living room to start grabbing the plates and dishes because I needed to focus on something that was going to calm me down. And there was a doorway in between my dining room and my kitchen. And my mom was there. Everybody else in the house is there. The Canucks are on television. Everybody's making noise. And I figured, well, I better go give my mom a hug. So I go to cross the threshold from my dining room to my kitchen, and everything goes silent. And I look into my mother's eyes. She's got these beautiful blue eyes, and her eyes are now jet black with her pupils being white, staring at me.
No.
What?
And I kind of tilted my head like this, like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? Because I immediately knew. Everybody always asks me, how did you know? I did not know. To this day, I do not know. But I knew at that exact moment, I was staring into the eyes of the angel of death.
Son of a bitch.
And I got sick to my stomach. I wanted to bawl my eyes out. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, my mom got this shocking look like, oh, you see me. She shook her head. Her eyes go blue. Sound goes on everywhere. And she comes in and gives me a hug like nothing happened.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
And so I give my mom a hug. I beeline it to my bedroom. My partner follows up and she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, dude, I just saw the angel of death in my mother's eyes. And I really want to cry right now. She's like, well, hold it together. Go to the door. Say goodbye to your mom and dad. And we'll figure it out later. Okay, fine. So I was a little agitated the rest of the night. And a couple hours after everybody had left and the daughters had gone to sleep, we go into my living room. And she's into all this woo crap, guys. And I'm sitting here like, okay. So she's like, I want you to sit on the love seat. I'm going to sit on the couch right across. We got a table. She starts lighting up all these candles. And she goes, I want you to relax and tell me what you see.
All right. Who was this, Dave, again?
So, okay, whatever.
Who was this again?
Whatever. I'm sorry?
Who is this that you're talking to again?
My partner.
Your partner. Okay. Gotcha.
My partner. Yeah. So I sit on the couch. She's on the other couch. Table between us. Candles all over. All right. And she goes, why don't you just close your eyes, relax, tell me everything that went on. Dudes, God is my witness, man. I blacked out.
What?
Next thing I know, I'm channeling the angel of death. And he explains to me that I was not supposed to see him, but because I did, he felt he owed me an explanation.
Oh.
He said that my mother, who is a 2-time cancer survivor, was indeed still very ill from all the chemotherapy and the radiation. And that if we as a family didn't start taking better care of her, he was going to take her home.
Shit.
He never said heaven. He never said hell. He said, I'm here to take her home. I said, well, how do I do this? How do I keep my mom alive? And he was like, you got to show her more love. Call her. Because over time, guys, I need to explain this. A, I don't come from a close family. B, if it isn't politics or Coke versus Pepsi, we don't do serious talks in our family.
Yeah.
Right.
My sisters and I now laugh at it, but that's always been a general rule. It was always small talk. And it pisses us off. But that's our family. That's the way we take it. So I called my sisters up. I'm like, this is what happened. We got to start showing mom more love. Okay? Because we weren't. We were pulling away from my mother because she, she would pick up the phone. Like, you'd call my mom up and you'd hear her answer the phone perfectly. Like, hello. And then you'd be like, hey, mom, how you doing? Oh, I'm in pain. The pain, the pain.
Oh.
And you'd be like, God, another conversation about the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, come on. You're 5 years out of this. I don't want conversations about pain. I want to know how your day is. What are you doing? How's your planting of your garden? When are you coming over for dinner? When would you like to have us and the grandkids over for dinner?
Right.
But the angel of death, man,
Dude.
he set me straight. And to this day, my mother is still alive.
No kidding.
Wow. What the hell?
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, so Angel of Death appeared in front of me, and, it told me that it had some splaining to do, and it at least told me that. I don't know for sure how to react. Would I be like, yeah, you freaking do? I want to know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll be like, okay, please.
All right. Yeah.
Deal. So now.
Yeah, but
Now, Dave, did you ever talk to your mom about
know.
this?
Yes.
How did that conversation go?
A couple months later, she just she doesn't like, my mom is still, I call her she'll always be a Christian at heart. Okay. She hasn't gone to church in 45 years, but she's still a very God-fearing woman and all this kind of stuff. I did eventually tell her about it, and she wasn't surprised, although she didn't really want to talk about it. She doesn't like a lot of the paranormal stuff that kind of goes along with it. But it was heavy, man. Like, you got to realize, my idea of channeling was grabbing a remote control and flipping through the channels as quickly as possible to see what was on. I have no idea what channeling is, but I'll tell you this. Within 2 days of this happening, my house was haunted.
Oh.
Ghosts walking up and down my stairs. You'd hear them on the wood floors. My daughters would see them, shadow people all of a sudden running through my house.
What happened?
And then the premonitions started, man. I told my friend, I had a friend of mine used to be a hostess at the Playboy Mansion. And I told her that she was going to date a rock star. Okay. And 11 months, she's like, well, who? And I'm like, well, I don't know yet. We go to this concert in Vancouver a few days after this incident. And I look on stage and I said, that's him. 11 months later, they ran face to face into each other at the Hard Rock Hotel, and they couldn't get enough of each other. Right?
Is the rock star somebody we would know?
You got to realize, guys, I'm not going to say.
Okay.
Oh!
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I'm not going to say. But all of this sudden, all this stuff starts coming through, and I'm giving you the Coles Notes version.
Sure.
And it just started getting really wild. Like, my daughter's starting to getting scared because they started seeing shadow people in their bedrooms and hearing knocking on their windows and all of this stuff. And I'm just like, what the hell? And my partner, she was involved in this spiritual group led by this really big dude who I now call my spiritual guru. His name is Pascal. And after about 4 or 5 months, 6 months of this, finally I get invited to one of these guru sessions, whatever the else, meditation sessions. I'm not into the woo at this point, guys. Know nothing of it. All right. And Pascal's a big man. He's built like an offensive lineman in football. And when he shakes your hand at 6'3", 6'4", whatever he is, when he shakes your hand, his hands are as soft as butter. But when he shakes it, he lets you know how bloody strong he is, And he, all of a sudden, out of the blue, he says to me, this was the first night I met him, or second night I met him, but this is the first time we met privately. He goes, it's like 11 o'clock at night. I barely know this guy. He goes, let's go for a drive.
Oh, what?
Okay. Where do you want to go? Don't know. Wherever the spirit takes us. Okay, I'm in. Hop in the vehicle, and he literally starts egging me to upset me and get me to yell at him.
What?
And apparently what he's learned through spirituality is most trauma happens between the ages of 7 and 12. So in order to get to go down the rabbit hole, you need to experience this anger and let go of this anger between the ages of 7 and 12 in order to advance spiritually. So he's egging me on, and I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you trying to piss me off? He goes, how far down the rabbit hole do you want to go? And I said, all the way. He goes, once you get there, there is no turning back. I said, I don't care. Because I got ghosts on my mind. I'm thinking, great. Hey, I'm like one of those dudes on TV. I can communicate with ghosts. Right? Even though it wasn't that easy, but in my mind at that time, that's what I'm thinking. And so Pascal just keeps working with me. And we worked on it for a year and a half. He goes, I'm really intrigued that they showed you channeling right off the bat. That doesn't make sense to me. And so we started channeling more. I'll tell you a fun experiment, guys. If you ever want to have fun, go into a completely dark room.
Nope.
Like no light, pitch black. You can't see your hand right there.
Nope.
And we did this experiment, Pascal and I. We had 2 lawn chairs in a room that was sealed off, all the windows sealed off, the doors sealed off, just him and I in a completely pitch black room. We actually saw a solar system form between us. And it was spinning like a galaxy. And you'd see these little sparks fly off of it. It was the weirdest stuff, man.
All right. I want to say something really quick because there was a group out in Italy. Go Italy. It was a documentary called The Afterlife Experiments or The Afterlife Project or something similar. And the reason I bring this up, Dave, is because they created a seance room. And they worked in this room for over 6 months to try to generate that as the spot, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? And those things started happening to them where they started getting these look like shooting stars and these light anomalies, orbs and floating around. So that's why it's weird. It's when you let go of what society wants you to be and you actually open your mind enough and your heart and your soul to the possibilities, at least that, you start experiencing things at a completely different freaking level.
Can you do what he was talking about? Go into a dark room like that?
Maybe. I talked a lot of shit, but I didn't go upstairs by myself.
I know,
at the
that's
Hill
what I'm
House.
saying. I don't think I could do it. I hate the dark. I hate the dark.
It's a blast.
Oh, I'm sure it's
a blast.
I'm sure it's fun.
I would say, guys, like all of a sudden, you're in your peripheral vision, man, and you see this head like come right out through to you, man. And you look at it, this old man head. And the cool part about it was, the one real cool part about it was, I actually saw my dog right beside me, my deceased dog, and he was sitting there like anything. And I was actually petting his ghost, and then watching him fade away, and it was cool, man. It was freaking cool. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
He said it was cool, man. Oh, I just don't know, dude. I'm thinking of all the things my body would start doing.
I know. And I'm going to say something. I said it to Ron a million times, bro. Now we got about 2 minutes, but something changed in me through this process. And I'm going to be humbled and say this, that I become a little bit more lighter on my feet, like I go to locations and if my gut tells me not to do certain things, no matter how much shit I talk, my ass ain't doing it, and nobody can even come close to convincing me. So, but back in the day, I want to be the guy. I want to be that Zach Baggins. I want to be that guy. I want to be the brave one with a really cool shirt on and some cool pants and look really cool and take a whole bunch of pictures doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that guy no more. And it hurts.
Well,
it's scary.
I'll tell you.
It's a scary
for all
thought.
this stuff, the month of how long do we got? About 40 seconds?
About 1 minute.
About 1 minute.
Okay. The month of April, tonight, April 20th, I'm glad you had me on the air with you, because at 10:17 tonight Pacific will be the 7th anniversary of Carl, the alien that I nicknamed Carl, showing up at my window during a live broadcast.
What?
Oh, what? So that's 12:17 in the morning for us tomorrow morning.
12 a.m.
No, 10:17 p.m.
Okay.
tonight Pacific time.
Yep.
It's 12 a.m., 12:17 a.m. for us.
Okay.
So Carl showed up at your window. We have got to talk about this after we get back from the break. Please. I want to know about Carl, because seeing a UFO, seeing Bigfoot, and seeing a ghost, you saw the UFO, but you also saw the inhabitant of that said UFO as well, right?
Oh, we're just warming up, boys.
Oh, sweet.
Damn it.
Sweet.
Dave, hold on, brother. We're going to go catch our breath. Bottom of the hour break. I don't know what commercial you playing tonight there, Ron. Is it?
I don't know. It's the one I played last night.
Hopefully it's the one I talked to aliens, but
it's
folks,
not.
Damn. I don't want to see the angel of death look at me in the face. I'm just saying I do not
There
want to
is
see
nothing
that
about that I want to see either, but I'm intrigued completely by Dave's conversation, all right?
Hey, spacedoutradio.com, spacedoutradio.com. Look them up on Facebook. Find Spaced Out Radio on Spreaker, and of course, all the popular podcast channels.
Yes.
Folks, we're going to go catch our breath. Abnormalrealities.com, and of course, Odyssey Radio by going to odysseyradio.com, ODYSY radio.com.
Yeah, you can find Spaced Out Radio there from 12 a.m. Eastern to 3 a.m. Eastern, Tuesday morning, actually, Eastern, Tuesday morning through Saturday morning.
Forget it, Ryan.
We'll see you back in 2 minutes.
Confused everybody.
At Romika Designs, we're more than just a laser engraving and specialty design company. Much more. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs, and if you can dream it, we can probably make it. We can custom laser cut and engrave on nearly all material. Great for one-of-a-kind gifts, home decor, business and specialty items, or personalized and logoed designs created just for you or your company. Allow us to become your go-to gift and specialty project partner. Romika Designs can help make your ideas a reality. We're ready to help you design and create that special gift for any occasion, or engrave your personal or business logo on just about any product. View our designs at romikadesigns.com or simply email us with your ideas. We specialize in custom design and would be honored to have the opportunity to discuss it with you. Call us at 817-400-4040, email info@romikadesigns.com, or visit us on the web at romikadesigns.com.
Abnormal Realities with Ron and Rocky.
Scientists say ghosts could be signs of a simulated universe. There is a significant chance that we will one day become post-humans who run ancestor simulations.
Say that again, though. So they run a what simulation? An ancestor simulation.
Ancestor simulation.
Okay, so the first thing that came to my head, correct me if my thought process is way off tune here.
Okay.
But are they more referring to doing like past life regressions, and you can connect through a past life regression because that past life is part of the simulation?
Part of the simulation. It's like replaying a program.
So it's not really
potentially
real.
What if everything around you isn't real? Imagine for a second that the planet we live on, the solar system, our galaxy, and eventually the entire universe we see as infinite is no more than a simulation.
Abnormal Realities with Ron and Rocky. Mojo 50.
Oops.
Yeah, you got it that time.
I missed a couple.
Did you? Missed a couple? Welcome back to Abnormal Realities, folks. I'm Ron Phillips. That is Rocky Stucci.
How you doing?
And the stories are crazy tonight, folks. We've got our guest tonight, Dave Scott from Spaced Out Radio, spacedoutradio.com. You can go out there. And Dave is actually on the Odyssey Radio network with iHeartRadio. He is Tuesday morning Eastern, midnight, till 3 a.m. through Saturday. So it's Tuesday through Saturday if you're on the Eastern, side of the fence over there.
Yeah, it's like working graveyard starting on Monday night.
It's like kind of crazy because you got to start doing that crap in your head, trying to figure out where you're at. But welcome back, Dave. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you, guys. So very much appreciating the time.
I got to tell you, that's pretty wild, man. When we talk about experiences like that and the footsteps and the everyday, I talk about a location that I investigated exclusively for a year, the most haunted place I've ever seen in my life. And there are certain things, EVPs are really cool. Spirit box is really cool. coming up with all these different gadgets and trying them out, and those are all really cool. But the physical side of things is a completely different realm of existence. When you can feel those feet on the floor, when you can see a shadow of a head peek in the door at you and then disappear really quick without a doubt in your mind that that's what you saw. When you see some kind of poltergeist activity, it changes your freaking soul.
I'm sure it does. Right? I have not had that experience. I just haven't.
You should.
But this experience that Dave's about to tell us about with his little buddy, who, how many years ago was it tonight, Dave?
7 years ago tonight, Carl arrived.
Carl.
Tell us about Carl.
He needed a name.
Yeah. I would have done the same thing.
So the backstory is this. I'm a guy who, when I lived in my old area, I always liked to have the outside lights on. And for some reason, it was night number 3 that I had forgotten to turn my outside lights on. And so my little dinky radio studio that I built was in the front room. I had a rancher style house. So, with the big bay windows, and then you had the front door, and then this little den / bedroom, and then the garage. So I had kind of built my little dinky blog talk radio studio, and we'd been broadcasting for about 5 months at that point. And I had some interesting conversations going up to that. But the point of the conversation was I left the outdoor lights off. And it was weird for me because we always had a house where we had the lights on, because our house has always been one of those houses that, hey, come on over anytime for a coffee or a beer or a snack or whatever. We'd have friends popping over 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and that's just the way it went. Yep. It was nothing new. And so on this particular night, I'm talking to a guy named Harvey Kraft about Buddha of all topics. Oh. And I'm sitting there talking away and, getting through the intros and all this kind of stuff. And I see something out of the corner of my eye move out the window. So in the back of my head, I'm thinking, man, who's here? Like my dog, they're going to come to the front door. Shoot? They obviously, well, it's Canada, so we're not allowed guns here anymore, but anyways, I'm like, God damn it. Like somebody's going to come to the door and my dogs are going to start barking. And at that time I had a little Chihuahua dachshund where a bloody crosswind was 35 minutes of worth of barking, and just annoying as anything. And, the radio guy in me is saying, oh God, dogs barking and they're not going to shut up. And these walls are as thin as paper. What do I do? Okay. Kept going. And then realized after a couple more minutes, there's no dogs barking. Oh. Okay. So I asked Harvey a question, put my little blue Yeti microphone on mute. I turn to look out the window in my chair, and there's these big black eyes on the other side of the window with this giant gray head. Yeah. Wow. And so I did what any man would do. I screamed and I fell backwards in my chair. Because,
absolutely.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
But I immediately jumped up. Because I wanted to see this thing.
Yeah.
And it was gone. It was gone. Like, guys, if it was a human, I would have seen them leaving, cutting across my lawn or running past my garage. Okay, I would have seen it. This thing was gone. And that's how the legend of Carl started. Now, he did come back in 2018. He's got a certain, and if you've been in the paranormal game long enough to know, that everything has an energy signature. Mm-hmm. So it was like August of 2018, man, and I'm going through this, I'm doing the show, I got Olaf Phillips on the air, and all of a sudden my head peeks up. And I start looking out the window. Different house now.
Right.
And I'm like, Carl's here. He's like, what? I said, Carl's here. I can feel him. So sign off the show at midnight, and I got Olaf now on my phone. I'm walking Olaf out to my garage because I have a studio in my house, and I was going through the carport where the window I was looking through. I want to see where he is, and I got my vehicles parked down below, and all of a sudden, dude, as I'm on the phone with Olaf, I see these two like Nike swooshes in a yin and yang go right between my vehicles. Like this orb was literally, the size of a basketball. Okay. And it goes at about 6 feet in between my vehicles. And I'm like crapping my pants at this point because it's only like 25 feet in front of me, 30 feet in front of me.
Yeah.
And then it came back. So I said, Olaf, I'm going in between my vehicles. I got to see if Carl's there. Stay on the phone with me. Anything happens, man, call the police. All right. So I walk over to my vehicles, nothing. But I'm starting to get freaked out because I'm on the ground level. Yeah. So I'm like, Olaf, I got to go. I got to call my ET guy, R. Keith Andrews. And I got to get him on the phone. And I run into my house, lock my basement door, run upstairs, go outside onto my patio. And then it's just like the movie Signs, boys. Where it's like...
No, I hate that freaking movie. I hate that freaking movie.
Now, I live on half an acre. And I've got a conversation between this thing in my backyard and something up my driveway, and all you hear is,
what the hell?
Right? Yeah. So I call up my ET guy, R. Keith, and he's like, he goes, first thing out of his mouth is, Carl's back, isn't he?
Oh.
I went, yeah. He goes, by the way, are you hearing any noise? And I went, I said, yeah, like a clicking, like a...
Yeah.
And he's like, no, did it sound more like this? And he did this thing with his throat. And I'm like, that's the sound. And then all of a sudden, this thing must have heard Keith on the phone because this thing starts going at Keith. And I'm like, can you believe this shit going on right now? Right?
What was that sound?
So
no, not that sound. There was a sound on the air. I just heard. All right, go ahead. We'll go back and listen to it.
So that is what happened, and that's the legend of Carl. And,
so did you ever physically see them?
He's coming back.
Did you physically see them that night?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Could feel them. But I figured out a mystery, boys.
Oh.
I know how the aliens leave.
Oh. Okay.
Because twice I've been in predicaments with extraterrestrials. And what they do is they actually will give you the energy. Like if you go to a different part of the forest, or if you drive down, like I have a lake 2 miles down the road from me. If you go sit in the parking lot of that lake, you're going to see UFOs, you're going to see more. And they give you all of this energy of what's going to happen. Mm. And when you get there, there's nothing. So it's only human curiosity. Well, I'll give it another 5 minutes. I'll give it another 10 minutes. Yep. And we just don't. We continue delaying and delaying and delaying. And then when you finally get frustrated that nothing is going to happen, you drive back home or you go back home and everything is gone. The energy has changed. Everything is back to the way it was. So they actually use some sort of brain signal like, hey, go that way, 100 paces. So that way they can escape the other way. That's happened to me twice.
So he waited for you to fall that night and then disappear.
Yeah, I went down to the lake.
No, I'm talking about
being a good Canadian
I'm talking about the night
I went down to the lake.
The night you saw him at the window. He waited for you to fall.
Yeah.
And then he took off.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to see that.
I haven't even told you about. But guys, I haven't even told you about the juiciest part yet.
Okay, we got 14 minutes. You got plenty of time. Go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna speed through this. Let's go back a year to March of 2014. I go to bed. I'm researching. I don't understand what's going on, man. I'm seeing UFOs, black triangles over my house. Oh. I don't know what's going on. Got all this stuff, and I'm staying up till like 3, 4, 5 in the morning each night, falling asleep with my laptop on my legs, man, and my legs burning from the heat of the laptop because I'm researching all night trying to figure out what's going on. That's the journalist in me. And so this one night in March, all of a sudden I go into this dream, and I'm in this bright white room, and all I can hear is this man's voice telling me to stop everything. And then I come through. Okay, fine. Well, let's fast forward. April 10th, 2014. I am at work. My wife goes over to our friend's house where we have a lot of weird stuff happening over there. It's like a mini ESETI ranch. Lots of ghosts, fairies, Sasquatch, everything on top of the mountains of Mission, British Columbia. And I got a migraine. And after about half an hour of suffering from this migraine, I realized that it's like 10 o'clock at night. I realized that it's not a migraine. It's actually shapes that are pulsating in my head. It started off as a square, then a triangle, then a circle. And all of a sudden my migraine is gone. But I got hit with this anxiety attack that I needed to go outside. So the lady of the house who was there, her and I go to the back of the house. I'm like, I got to go right now. There's something out there. We go outside, and it is one of those eerie nights with the low clouds. Everything is mist and black and everything. And we go behind the house. They got this horse fence. And there's only 2 houses on their street. They're 10 acres. They're elderly neighbors who don't have any children, 6.5 acres. Both houses are horseshoed by forest. There's even like these giant, 60, 70-foot maple trees in between the houses, okay, on the property line. And I go outside, man, and you could cut the tension with a knife. So the lady who I'm not a fan of hers anymore. I don't mention her name. She goes, well, they called you outside, man. Like, ask for them. I'm like, well, what do I do? She goes, just first thing that comes to your head. I said, okay. I said, out of God's peace, love, and light, you called me outside. Can you please show us where you are? Bang, the entire tree line in between both properties lights up like the brightest freaking Christmas tree you've ever seen. And it's the brightest white light I have ever seen. And it did that on a second of my command. And now the journalist in me, guys, this is coming from, the light is emanating from the backwood field of the elderly neighbors, about 150 yards away from us. And it's right on the edge of the forest. And this light, dude, is going like, it is hitting the trees everywhere. It's like somebody just spilled white light everywhere.
Right.
And her and I are like, oh my God. So my immediate reaction, being the journalist, is this. I'm skeptical. Is there any noise? Did they hear me? Well, hold on. I asked this talking the same volume as I'm talking to you guys. 150 yards away, they're not going to hear me.
Right.
Okay? Do I hear people laughing? Do I see people moving in the light? Is it one of those 100,000 candle watt flashlights that somebody's playing a trick? Lights go off. If you are of alien descent, out of God's peace, love, and light, can you please turn your lights on again? Bang, lights come back on. This time they're wider through the trees. It's brighter. And it is absolutely stunning to look at. And I start moving to my right because I'm trying to get a better look at this thing. And I notice that there is this blue cylinder that is standing vertically where all the white light is like emanating from underneath it. And there is this black cloud that is rotating counterclockwise, that's going halfway up this blue cylinder and then halfway down, all the way down, and then back up and then all the way back down. Now, looking at the size of the trees in between the properties, I'm estimating this cylinder was 20 to 30 feet tall. And it's just sitting there. Boom, lights go out. She says, let's go up to it. I said, I saw fire in the sky. This crap ain't happening. I'm not going back.
I know what happens.
He said, I ain't going nowhere close to that son of a bitch.
I literally said to her, I'm suspect number 1. I won't do well in jail. Right? So she goes, okay, we'll see if they'll do it again. I said, just so I'm not crazy, out of God's peace, love, and light, can you turn your lights on one final time? Bang, lights come back on. And same thing, all white, all bright, blue cylinder still there. But the interesting thing happened right at the end. Over time, when we would go outside to count satellites on the patio while having a beer or having a glass of wine, we would see all of these power-ups right above our house. It was never to the west or the east, the north or the south. It always seemed to be in our line of sight right over our house. So when they shut the lights off the third time for the final time, they powered them back on, then off, then on, then off, then on, then off. And this happened 10 times before everything went silent.
Dude.
And we stood out there trying to communicate with it. It would not turn its lights on again.
I would be like, Ron.
Right, so
Ron. What do we
house.
do? What do we do, Ron? Where do we do? Where do we go? You know what I'm saying? How do you know what to do when that happens?
With you holding me, I don't know how that would work.
I'm like, where are they, bro?
But there was
Were you scared at
there was
all,
a level
Dave?
of safety there. Like, never felt danger. I was scared.
Yeah.
Okay, I was scared. I'm not going to lie. I was scared because what your eyes are seeing, your mind is not comprehending.
Right.
So a lot of people will say, well, why didn't you take photos? You had an iPhone with you. Why didn't you take a video?
You don't think
You know
about
what?
that stuff.
When you are petrified of seeing something that isn't supposed to exist right in front of you at eye level, that changes the game plan.
It does. You don't think about it. Yeah, you don't think about it. Your adrenaline is freaking massively flowing at this point. So
Absolutely.
Gosh, dog. I see.
So,
I don't know what I would
5 days
do.
later,
I would be petrified, frozen.
5 days later, boys, I go back to the farm. I haven't barely slept in 5 days. So the night before we went back to the farm on the Tuesday, the lady of the house contacts my wife. She's like, hey, we're having tea. I got this young lady that I want you to meet named Samantha Mowat. And she's a lifelong ET contactee. She'll be over about 1:30 if you would like to join us. So, okay, fine. I go back. This is my first time back at the farm since this happened. And it's now daylight, not a cloud in the sky. Kids are all at school. And they're, all the ladies are doing, oh, how you do? Let's have a sip of tea. And, oh, yeah, I'm into the woo. And they're doing that thing. And I'm pacing back and forth, right? Because I don't want to sit down. I want to go back in the field.
Yeah.
So Samantha says, you want to go outside, don't you? I said, yeah. She goes, can I come with you? Sure. So we walk back into the field, showing her where the UFO was. She starts picking up the energy of the craft. And all 4 dogs, we had 4 dogs there. I used to bring my 2 dogs over there to run around. The farm had 2 dogs. So after about Samantha says to me, do you want to go in the forest?
Oh, like what?
Sure. She goes, we're probably going to see something, right? I said, yeah, I know. She goes, but I don't know if we'll actually see anything, because from what I know, aliens don't like dogs. So we tried shushing the dogs back to the house. Remember, 2:00 in the afternoon, not a cloud in the sky, no kids around because they're all at school.
Right.
All 4 dogs aren't paying attention. They go running into the forest. We walk down, okay. We walk about 50 yards into the forest, and Samantha gets this real perplexed look on her face. And she's looking around, and I'm like, what's the matter? And she goes, Dave, where are the dogs? All 4 dogs are gone.
What?
Don't know where they went. So like stupid people, we keep going.
Sure.
And we walk another 50 yards into the forest. Samantha jumped. She's a little redheaded pixie. Like, she'd be lucky if she's like 90 pounds.
He's getting notifications on his phone, folks. So bear with us.
Sorry, somebody's trying to call me here.
Yeah.
So she jumps up on this tree stump, and I'm like, she's looking around. She's got that perplexed look on her face. And then all of a sudden she looks right dead at me. And she goes, I don't want you to be afraid, but I want you to look that way. And she points north. And she goes, tell me what you see. So I take a deep breath. I turn. I look. And I said, Samantha, what the F is that?
Oh.
Samantha, what the F is that? What the F is that, Samantha? Because 200 feet in front of us in the forest, there's a 10 to 12 foot extraterrestrial standing there staring back at us.
10 to 12 feet.
I would whoop his ass.
No, you wouldn't. No, you
I'll
wouldn't.
whoop his ass.
You would be frozen solid, dude.
Froze, boys.
Oh.
Yeah.
I froze. Because you know what? Let me tell you this. I wasn't scared of the entity. What I'm scared of is I'm 40 years old at this point, 40 going on 41, and everything in my life has just changed because through all my coaches, my parents, my grandparents, my elders, everybody I ever known in my life that I respected, nobody ever told me that after there's a God and there's a devil, there's a heaven and there's a hell. Nobody ever told me, what do you do when there's an extraterrestrial that's 10, 12 feet tall standing there staring back at you in the middle of the day while you're wide awake? So Samantha starts communicating with it. But I didn't know there was a second entity there. Didn't see it.
Oh.
Couldn't take my eyes off this one. I was freaking out. I was calm, totally stoic, standing there, but I was freaking out. And so she starts communicating with this one, and this one says, don't worry, we're not here to harm you. We're not here to take you. You're more than willing to come or welcome to come over and say hello. However, we're worried about the man's health. Well, it's only Samantha and I there.
Yeah. So you're the man they're talking
about me because she's not a man. And she starts walking over to them. And I begged her to stay.
Dave, you got 2 minutes.
I wasn't ready.
2 minutes, Dave. Did she make it to him? Did you go over to him? Oh, okay.
So were you healthy?
I'm sorry?
Were you healthy because they said they were concerned about your health?
I was like inside.
Now you
they
said
thought I was going to have a heart attack if I walked over there.
Okay, but you said she walked over there. Did she walk all the way to this entity?
No, she started to walk. She got about 10, 15 feet from me, and I begged her to stay with me.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, once again, I saw fire in the sky. I'm suspect number one.
Yep.
Son of a
I'm suspect number one. I didn't want to be suspect number one.
I'd be like, I don't want to see you go up in a ship.
Right?
All right. I guarantee you Dave's got more stories like this that he can tell. So we definitely need to have you back on, Dave. We appreciate you spending the time with us. These freaking, oh my gosh. And the whole time you're telling this story, I'm living it right here, right? And I'm thinking to myself, how in the hell was Dave so calm?
I don't know, man. Froze. I don't know if it's calm or froze.
Dave wasn't calm. Dave was not calm.
Jeez, man.
Brother, how can people follow you? Tell people about the website. Tell them about your program.
Got about a minute.
Well, Spaced Out Radio is my baby. We started it on November 20th, 30th, 2014.
2014.
15 listeners a night. Now we're on 6 terrestrial radio stations, 3 terrestrial digital broadcasts, including right here on Odyssey Radio, which we're so proud of, guys. And we're pushing as much as we can. So thank you for allowing us to kind of fly home the night with everybody.
Yeah, man.
And you know what? We're all over social media, all the platforms, YouTube. And if you want to interact in our chat room, YouTube is great. Find us all over social media at Spaced Out Radio. And gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm heading to Vegas right after this.
Oh,
all right, Dave, stay there for a second. We'll be right back with you. Holy crap,
I'm going to tell you, you know, when you got a professional is you ask a question, and that's a whole show.
No kidding. Yeah,
I don't want to see an alien.
I could sit and listen to these stories all night.
But I don't want to see an alien.
I
That's
don't want to kind of see one.
I'd be like, bro.
Yeah, take us out.
Hey, folks, abnormalrealities.com. Catch us on Odyssey Radio. Go to odysseyradio.com, ODYSY. Brother Dave Scott again. Thank you, my brother. Spaced Out Radio, spacedoutradio.com. Look them up. They are everywhere, folks. Until tomorrow night.
Peace.
Freaking love you.
Mwah. See you guys tomorrow night.